Hi, I'm Anna from Astralladytarot in Amsterdam. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I am continuing granting your requests on doing more videos about the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. Here's another fun thing that you can do with the cards. Drawing the visual connections as if they're all part of the same scene. The beautiful thing about the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, we all know this, is that there's a scene depicted on every card. Now, that makes it easy to connect the cards in a visual sense. I've never actually done this for a client, but I could. When I read for clients, I usually have a little notepad so that I can quickly write down some keywords about what they're telling me, or write down their questions so that I don't forget, because I get so deep into the cards sometimes that I'm like, wait, what are we actually talking about? So I quickly learned that with friends and family already. I quickly learned that I need that, and I still do that to this day, to just really stay focused and stay on topic. Because of course the cards bring up other things and we derive off of the topic because it's all connected usually. But this way it's just so I don't forget. In a sense, I guess I could if, for instance, the client drew these cards and this is the reading. Whatever the reading means, whatever the cards mean at that point in time, I could do, for instance, this. I could change the way that the cards are laid out on the table. Of course, at the end I put them back so that we don't forget the situation, the situation is now. But this could invoke a sense of healing, I guess, or whatever, like this maybe. Whatever the reading means, it can be very helpful to have that visual tool. After all, these cards are all visual tools, the decks. So why not change it up and see what the situation could be like. Doing that is actually, we are making a new scene. We're making as if we are making a new painting. So the situation changes. And also it connects. Yeah, doing that is all healing and enlightening and seeing the connections. So I'm not really sure if this is, if I consider this beginner level or advanced. I guess maybe a little bit of both. Either way, it's fun because we get to play with our cards again. Why I wanted to make this video is because I realize it helps me. I have this tarot book of mine where I write down my readings, and then every so often, doesn't happen a lot, but every so often I make a little sketch drawing alongside the texts where I either highlight the important parts of the reading that I just did for myself, or I, as I said, make a sketch of the moon card, and then I connect the Six of Pentacles, I don't know why, in this way, and the King of Swords may be like that. Somehow they're all part of the same imagery, of the same scene, of the same landscape. And I want to do that with you today. For that, we may need another angle though. I used to never film at my altar or tarot table, however you want to call it. And now all of a sudden, this just feels like it's the place to be. So forgive me for making so many videos here, but I just really like it. Well, I'm not sure if I'm considering this an exercise, but the reason I thought that this would be helpful is because it really does emphasize the visual aspects of the reading. Because of course I write down pretty much everything, but still there's not the visual thing in the method that I'm using. I'm just writing things down. So it's ultimately I'm translating what I see into words and what I feel into words, what I think about into words. That's the beauty of tarot, but at the same time it's still a visual tool. I mean, I don't have a copier or something along those lines. I don't have, you know, a way to stick the images in the book. It's all text, and I'm okay with that, but every so often I feel that, yes, I could use a little bit of that imagery, in my book where I write down my readings. Then at the same time, it's really to show the deeper connections. What I mean by that is actually just linking the cards together again in a visual sense, because there are different ways to link the cards together, but this is very visual, using the strength of this deck a scene on every card. I'm going to randomly pick out some, don't know why I'm shuffling, pick out some minors. Here we go. Like that. So first of all, what we could do is, here we have the Seven of Pentacles, Two of Wands, and the Seven of Cups. What we can do is connect them in the way that they are laid out here. Here we have some, I'm always looking at the background or what's happening. Here we have some kind of a gray-blue background. They look like mountains. And in the distance here we have the same thing. Then here with the cups it's like a cloud. Now it's not like we're seeing clouds in these cards, but it is kind of gray and the background here is blue. So I'm thinking maybe what's happening here is on the other side of this scene, and he, with the green, is maybe somewhere here where the green is. That is pure visual and kind of like setting them up like I'm making a map. And I'm going to, I think, make a video, or maybe the second part of this video is about showing you how I actually made a map of the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. It's my own personal map. There's no truth there, only for me. I also did it for my Triomphe de la Luna, and those two decks just so happen to be my favorite decks to this day. It was really just a way to get to know the cards and to see, yeah, how I feel, where everything is in my mind. And even though I don't actually use that in my readings, I am using this. I am connecting the cards in this very visual way of like, where could they be? So if this is the landscape, because this is where we have the most zoomed out perspective, then this card would be here on the other side of that lake, and this card would be here where the green is, and then you see the mountains continuing. How could I'm thinking, look, it's just a sketch, right? Here we have the cloud with the cups, and this is the lake with the mountains, with the green, with the Two of Wands, with the little castle, guy looking over it. This is the worst drawing ever. I hope you can see what I mean. Looking over his kingdom, and these are the mountains, and here's the green, and that means that here are the Seven Pentacles. I'm going to do a second example just to show you how this can actually be helpful. Okay, so let's get back to how the cards were laying, like this. Now, if I were to say this middle card in the spread is the energy that I need. I need to be prepared. I need to know what I'm maybe sacrificing. I need to know, have some plans and, you know, make myself ready. Whereas here I may be a little bit lazy. And then it actually brings me to understanding what is true and what is false. Maybe what is keeping me here in this very moment is actually not real, not true, not worth it. They're all illusions. And may actually also be bad for me and a bad influence, and in a sense I feel rotting my good intentions that I still have here. This is like a shadow figure, right, of the same person. So this is 3 times me. It's also funny how actually looks like the same person, the same guy with the same haircut. But let's see, if this is the energy I need, then it's stronger. I feel that this wand is more elevated already in the card, but also in this reading, this very quick and impromptu reading that I've just made up, this wand is higher than this one. This is all about the low energy, the bad things. And here actually as well, they're both 7s, right? So considered in some systems very weak numbers, but in others again very strong, like the Marseille, where I consider It's the 4 is the base, the strength, the fundamental aspects of your stability, and then you add growth onto that. So the 7 is very strong. Like I see the Chariot can be a very strong card. But here we do see a little bit more of that weaker aspect of the card, of the meaning of the card coming up. I would definitely put this, lower. This wand would definitely be higher. And this could be, what is this? What did I say this was? Like a shadow side is where I'm lazy. So these two things are connected. These two things. And this is where I want to focus on. So let's do that. This is the wand that I have in my hand, like the Ace of Wands, that I need to focus on. It's all about action. And this is where I want to go. It brings me to all of the options of the world, the globe, the world that he has in his hands right there. This is what I need, a little bit more action, a little bit more spirit and pure intentions, I guess, and that passion and that willpower in order to really see my full potential and see what I need. There is no time for me to have a sense of, what is this? Oh, it looks like a sword, but actually, that's interesting, right? But actually this, I was trying to draw the second wand that is bolted to the wall. There's no, I kept saying time, there's no time for me to be lazy or be seduced by, well, these unhelpful things. It's funny now that this looks like a sword because it kind of brings me to the element that we're missing here. Maybe this wand bolted to the floor is definitely about not focusing on the things or not allowing these things to keep me where I am, to keep me stuck. And that actually brings me to a sort of Ace of Wands type of enlightenment. Could be. Then here, so this is actually a kind of a path, right? This is what I am going through, and this is where I want to be. So all of the things that I'm leaving behind could be in that lake that's in the Two of Wands. And in that lake are the 7 cups. And that lake is rotten. How am I showing that? Like that. Like a kind of a swamp. Rotten. And I'm leaving that behind. I'm actually maybe linking the sword to the kind of a cloud vision. Clouding that. This is supposed to be a cloud. Sorry, guys. Clouding that so that I don't see it anymore. These are the things that I'm ending, that I'm no longer looking at. Turning my back towards. See? Can actually even draw the little guy. Well, I can't actually, but I'm not really trying either, am I? Damn. Then what we're still missing here is the other lazy aspect. This is funny because I'm now seeing this, of course, is also a staff. It's actually this kind of a shovel thingy, I don't know what it's called, but it's also a staff kind of thing. So it could be that this card that I at first interpreted as the shadow aspect of the card, me being lazy and not knowing what I want and all that stuff, and instead of only leaving behind these this kind of poison and rotten swamp, I'm also leaving behind that laziness. I'm actually transforming this tool, this wand, into this wand, the second wand on this card. Instead of actually having this wand bolted to the wall, keeping me trapped, keeping me in that spot, keeping me from moving and growing, it now has become a symbol of leaving the past behind. This sword-looking thing now is maybe the missing link of that's actually the idea, that's actually the inspiration, the thought process. A new day. A new day. Oh, yeah. Could be like the sun coming up here. There's still the globe, still the world. That's just an example of how the drawing can not only make clear what the reading was about. I mean, the sketch, I should really call this, because it's not a drawing. It's a sketch. A very bad sketch as well, but hey, stay with me. It's also bringing more to the table. It's also bringing more information. How this wand all of a sudden looked like a sword and became the missing link. Do you know what I mean? And it can be a type of path working and storytelling. I believe this is another way of doing path working with cards. Path working is where you go through the borders of the card and you are either looking at this scene depicted, or you are the person in the card and you feel that you are holding this wand and how it's fiery, and you feel how you are holding the globe of the earth and how heavy that is, and what your heart desires, what you want. That's already beautiful in itself. There's just another way of, making it kind of magic. This is what tarot readers do in a reading. The difference now is that you can see it, not only hear it. Okay everyone, the second part of this video is going to be me going back in time, looking at my old tarot book where I wrote down everything that I was learning at that time, and every interpretation, every reading, so that I could go back and analyze, what could I've done better, or what fit and what didn't work out, those types of things. Looking at the maps that I had made of this deck and the Triomphe de la Luna deck. Now I'm going to start with the Rider-Waite-Smith and see if I still agree, after all this time, with the placements that I had made. I believe that I only used the majors and the courts, perhaps? I'm not sure. Obviously, I could have done it with all of the cards, because that's so special, again, about this deck. It's just nice to get this full picture and a storytelling kind of thing. And, again, to reinforce the reading with visual tools. So basically we go from visual to interpretation to visual again. And maybe that somehow sometimes feels like what we need, I guess. So anyway, thank you so much, and I will see you in another video.